Hello, everybody. Welcome back to an early morning edition of the show. I'm your host, James. Alongside always, his name is...
I'm Andy.
And we join you on this epic journey, all become Legend of the Nerds. Morning, sir.
Morning.
How are you?
Oh, you know, same old, same old.
Crawled out of bed, did you?
Well, yeah, but I also, this is the thing. When people say you got to get up for this in the morning or something like that, as long as I set my alarm, I'm good. I can get up. I actually got up a couple minutes before the alarm, so there's
Good.
silver lining and everything.
Well, get back to that workforce soon, so you gotta get up
Hopefully.
early again, right?
Hopefully, I got myself an interview hopefully today, so
Fantastic.
all the way out in Essex.
Ooh,
So
not much of a hike. That's pretty good.
yeah, we'll see. We'll see how it goes.
Well, we got a big show today. Let's jump right into it, huh?
Let's do it.
We got a little TV talk, huh?
TV talk.
I have been watching a new show. I've only watched the first episode because I have so much stuff on my plate to watch.
Okay.
But I want to get back to it. It's The Tick, Season 1 on Amazon Prime.
God,
Don't turn your nose up on this. I hate when you do that. You turn your nose up on stuff I want to talk
People
about.
post it on Facebook. It looks stupid.
Looks-
The cartoon was stupid for crying out loud.
Looks can be deceiving. This is a very cute show, Andy.
Cute.
It is.
Really?
It is.
This
I like
comes
it.
from the guy who doesn't like to watch The Tooth Fairy because The Rock's in a tutu, which is too cute, but you'll watch The Tick, a guy in tights.
It's blue tights. It's superior tights. It's fine.
Oh my god.
I would definitely check it out if you can. You know,
Yeah, I don't think so.
You can turn your nose up all you want. It was worth the watch. It was definitely worth the watch. Has a great storyline so far. As you know, the Tick, the tall, burly man dressed up in a big blue Tick outfit. He gets superheroes of a Tick.
Yep.
He takes on a sidekick that is he's an accountant with minor mental issues, and their goal is to save the city from a villain that was thought to be dead a long time ago. So that plot line is there. It's a pretty interesting plot line, pretty interesting storyline so far. I can't wait to watch more episodes. I had a lot of fun watching it. Yeah, so I mean, that's all I gotta say about that show. I'm not sure you're gonna tune in to the show. Maybe one day come over, we can watch it, check it out. Maybe you have no interest in it.
Can you tell?
I don't know why. You always turn your nose up at this stuff. It's entertaining. It's fun-taining. Anyways, moving on. Tom Welling is back on TV. If you know about that. He joined the cast of Lucifer on the Fox network.
Oh. Haven't watched Lucifer, so I know of it.
Right, I know of it. I don't have the Fox network. I don't have TV also. I can't really watch it. But if I heard it, it's a real big part for him. So, congrats to the Welling.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't seen him on doing anything lately for quite a while, so.
No, so that's why it's big news that he's back on TV, and
Yeah.
because he was big in Smallville, and it's good to see him back on TV.
Yeah, true. If you don't have anything else, I have a couple that pop to mind. I'd like to talk about.
Absolutely.
If I can find it in my notes here. I didn't write them down, so I'll just have to go with it. I recently got Netflix back for the last month
Okay,
because
fantastic.
had to watch The Defenders. So I know later on down the road when you finally get to watch it,
I'm 3 episodes in.
we'll talk about it later, probably down the road. But if you're 3 episodes in, what do you think so far?
I actually am really enjoying it. I really am enjoying
You're
it.
almost halfway because
It's a lot better than I thought it would be. Because, I mean, honestly, with Iron Fist and Luke Cage, I really wasn't too hot for those shows. They were good, but they were kind of long and not very, catching my interest as much as Jessica Jones did.
Yeah. What's neat is because you've probably, you're in episode 3, so they all have met each other.
Yeah, I just got the end when they were in the skyscraper.
Okay.
They teamed up and walked out, yeah.
What's neat is, without spoiling it for you, is the companionship that Luke Cage and Iron Fist have, which is in the comics.
Well, I always expected that friendship to happen.
They become a team up. So I'm hoping to see that team up kind of happen in the upcoming seasons of Luke Cage and Iron Fist. That'd be pretty neat because they develop a brothership kind of towards the end of the series.
I mean, I could see Iron Fist and Luke Cage only going 1 season, then a brand new show. Those 2 star in it.
Yeah. The first episode was kind of drawn out because you just see you see more of the stories of them solo throughout the first episode.
Yeah.
But that's typical Netflix Marvel TV shows. The first episode or two are kind of drawn out, and then it starts getting into the action.
You slowly see how they all get connected because Foggy's there, getting Luke Cage out of prison, as his
Yeah.
lawyer, and Foggy used to be Mac Murdock's friend, So they're slowly tying in with outside characters, which is a great idea.
Which I can't wait for you to finish watching it, because my biggest thing that I loved was the villain or villains, because we already know they're fighting the Hand, but you learn the backstory of the Hand,
Yeah.
and it is amazing backstory.
With Sigourney Weaver in it, oh
Yeah.
man, she's amazing.
She's one of 5 of the Hand villains.
Yeah,
So
she's one of the fingers.
Yeah, exactly. So which is neat because you have the hand versus the fist.
Yeah,
So Defenders I thought was amazing. Can't wait to see where it goes from there. Also, I binged the part 3 of The Ranch. And what I hate is you get to that last episode and it's like, can't wait, go to push play for the next one, and you can't because
Nope.
it's done. The Ranch in 3 parts, it's been 30 episodes now because each part is 10 episodes,
Yeah.
has been one of the best shows I have seen in a long time.
I am not a big comedy fan. I enjoy this show, and Sam Elliott is a genius.
The entire cast is great, and it is the crude humor. It's
Yeah.
it's adult humor, so
is,
obviously
absolutely.
kids should not be watching this.
No.
But The Ranch, it's just wow.
Yeah,
I don't know who came up with the idea, but oh my god, genius.
it's entertaining.
I think it was not Ashton Kutcher, but the other guy, Danny. He plays he plays Rooster.
Masters?
Danny Masters, yeah, I think
Yeah.
so. He was on that 70s show with Ashton Kutcher. So I just had to shout out to those 2 shows. Amazing.
Yeah, definitely. Oh, let's move on to little Nintendoverse.
This is your topic right here.
Yes.
The Nintendo gamer over here.
I finally got my hands on Splatoon 2. It's a pretty decent shoot 'em up type of game, with the goal is to ink the environment around you and your opponents. You find hidden objects in the ground as you ink the ground. Oh man, the game is real fun. The only issue I'm having with the game right now is the online play. For some reason, it's either my internet or it's the server for the game, but I keep getting booted off. I can't stay online.
Yeah.
Which is too bad because most of the game is online. Like the way you earn money to buy new guns in the shops, you gotta play online games. More you win, more money you
Yeah,
get, know? And I can't seem to get online long enough to win any money to buy any better guns. But the guns are real fun though. They have a lot of cool stuff in there.
Yeah, because I was remembering seeing this on Facebook, you talking about this, and you're like, I need to find a new internet provider
Yeah.
and stuff. So,
Yeah,
because even when we get together and watch
yeah.
some WWE pay-per-views, it's always
And that's why
freezing.
I'm leaning towards it's my internet provider and not Nintendo's server.
Oh, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
On some other Nintendo-verse stuff I just thought of, you told me you had just finished beating the new Zelda game.
Yes.
So tell the viewers your review on that, because this was the Zelda game that everyone was waiting for. That
Yeah.
looked like you were actually there, like real life.
This Zelda game was very different than any other game. There's pretty much only 5 temples in this game, rather than 8, and then they do more stuff. Most of this game is traveling throughout Hyrule. You have the 4 divine beasts, and then Hyrule Castle. That's it for temples. So I thought that was a little too short for me. I would like to see more to do, but with all the side missions, it kind of makes up for it.
Okay.
Now,
this was Zelda. What was the name after it? So our
Breath of
viewers
the
know-
Wild.
Breath of the Wild.
Yep.
So you have a total of 5 stars. Is usually what they give movies and games. What do you give Breath of the Wild?
with the lack of temples, and they could have wrote more for the storyline, I give it a 3.5.
3.5. So the hype and the anticipation was.
Definitely well worth it.
Oh, it was okay.
It was
That's
definitely well worth
that's
it.
what I was gonna get at.
I'm just being picky right now.
Yeah.
I'm being real picky as a huge Zelda fan. That I would like to see more temples, more storyline out there, because the game starts off, boom, you're like, what just happened? Then the storyline kind of progresses as you make it through it, but if you don't do all the side missions, you don't get the storyline at all.
Yeah, because you know what I'm getting at is it's like when we were so hyped up, or I was for I use it all the time, Man of Steel.
Yeah.
And it was a letdown.
Yeah.
Was that the same way with Breath of the Wild? But you seem to have enjoyed it.
I really enjoyed it. I'm playing it through again.
Yeah, so it wasn't overrated.
It wasn't overrated. I just like to see more temples in the next game.
Okay. Yeah. There we
With
go.
the same amount of like area to explore.
Yeah. Real quick, because I know you take your Switch everywhere as you go.
Yep.
Is Nintendo just getting better with each upgrade from Wii U, Switch? The Switch up there?
Yeah.
It's one of those that you have to go get.
It is. It's one of those systems you just have to get. You can't take it anywhere.
Yep.
It also is word that they actually may take it to VR soon.
There we go, Nintendo. They don't have
Trying VR
They
again.
don't have just one foot in the door. They got both.
Yeah.
So
I mean, they've been working on VR for a long time too, with the Virtual Boy back in the early '90s. Mm-hmm. Not sure if you remember that or not.
yep.
But yeah, I mean, I rock out for them, you know.
There we go. Moving on.
Flareverse. What do you think?
Flareoverse, yes. I had you. I don't know if you did get to watch all of them, but during the San Diego Comic-Con, they debuted the trailers for all 4 DC CW TV shows.
I think the only one I saw was Legends of Tomorrow. I think.
Okay. Well, I wrote down some notes anyways, but we had to bring this up because in just 5 short weeks, the Flareoverse, as we like to call it, comes back to TV. The second week of October, something around second week of
Can't
October.
come soon enough.
So we'll start it up with the very first show that started the Flareoverse. That's Arrow. They show in the trailer scenes from the end of Arrow season 5.
Yep.
Where the island's being blown up, Adrian's whole fight with Oliver, all that. One of the biggest things out of this, where I see season 6 going, it's going to evolve around Oliver's sins. Because Adrian told him, not Adrian, the Russian guy, I forget when Oliver was in Russia, I forgot his name, but he says to Oliver, "You are paying for your father's sins. Mm-hmm. Who is going to pay for yours?" Is that going to be Oliver's son? Because in the trailer, you see Oliver's son living with Oliver, which tends to tell me that his mother probably died on Leon Rouge when the island exploded.
Maybe.
Will Oliver's son pay for his sins down the road? Or will somebody else? So that's where I see this season 6 going around, is Oliver's sins coming back to haunt him and maybe his son. You see in it a lot more of Slade Wilson, which is what I wanted to see in season 6. Mm-hmm. It looks like they're fighting at one point, then they're shaking hands, so are they going to fight? Are they going to team up? Where's Slade's character going to go from now? We all think Slade's son is going to come into play, who will be known as Jericho. And one of the big things was you see a lot of fight scenes between Dinah, the new Black Canary, and Black Siren. So where will this rivalry go in the future? But that is what they showed basically from season 6. What do you want to see come out of season 6? Like with me, it was Slade. I wanted to see more Slade.
Yeah, Slade would be nice to see. Deathstroke was always a fun character. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of cool stuff, especially in the Flareverse so far. What we've seen, I don't know. I mean, they do such a good job with the show as it is. Mm-hmm. I've never had a complaint with Arrow at all.
Yeah.
What I don't want to see is, I don't think I'm ready to see the relationship kick back up with him and Felicity anymore. I think I'm done with that.
Yeah.
Let's move on with that. Other than that, keep it going.
I think with the whole thing with your sins, who's gonna take on your sins, I think we're gonna see a lot more past villains come back this season.
Yeah.
And he's gonna have to deal with.
When you think about it, the backstory is done now.
Yeah.
So now we're gonna see any backstories. It'd be other characters probably.
Yep. So, season 5 was amazing. So hopefully season 6 is just as good. Moving on, Flash. We had at the end of season 3, Barry going and sacrificing himself into the Speed Force to save everybody. one of the final things he told Iris was to keep running.
Yeah.
So they show Iris constantly helping out Team Flash in a bunch of missions. You have Wally and Cisco teaming up, which is a neat little new team up. You see them fighting off some villains here or there. But the big villain, I think this might be the main villain because they said it wasn't going to be a speedster, was this Mystic Samurai. I showed you, I think, part of it.
Yeah.
And he demands, when he stabs his sword into the ground, like this electric wave goes flying by, knocks Cisco and Wally out. And he demands that they turn over the Flash to him because nobody knows where the Flash is. It's like, where's the Flash? That's who he wants. Obviously, they can't give him the Flash, so what are they going to do? Later on in the trailer, you see Caitlin, a.k.a. Killer Frost, return. But she's not using her Killer Frost abilities. She's actually got a Captain Cold gun.
Oh, that's awesome.
So has she found out how to get rid of her powers, but still wants to do something with coldness and developed a cold gun? Or are we going to see Captain Cold return?
You could.
That's why they have the gun there? Do
Good.
they team up? That's the thing. Killer Frost and Captain Cold? Who knows? The big thing at the end was Cisco and his new Speed Force gun that he has, because they're trying to get Barry back.
Yeah.
And you see a Flash flying through the subway and the streets, and Cisco saying, I got him, da-da-da-da. People probably speculate that's Barry, but I ask you, which Flash is it?
Right.
Because it doesn't.
I've never seen that in this.
It doesn't show a face. It just shows him from the back.
Yeah.
So who is it? I don't feel like it's Barry. I feel like it's someone else.
Well, no, in CW is probably not Barry at 1st.
So, out of this trailer, I don't think we're getting Barry Allen back in the first episode. I think it's going to be a while till Barry comes back.
I really hope we do not see Barry return to Earth in the first or second
I just want him to
episode.
talk to them from beyond the grave.
Communication is fine. Don't have him back. Let's let Wally shine for just a little bit. Let him shine for just a little bit, and then bring Barry back.
So, I'm excited. I mean, Flash is one of my favorites. Moving on, Legends of Tomorrow. We saw at the end they destroyed time, which was hilarious.
Oh, this show's amazing.
It's getting better with each season.
Remember at season 1, I was like, I'm not sure how this show's gonna be. Now I'm like fully engaged in this show, ready for more.
With the whole Legion of Doom last season, that was a great addition to get people to jump back on board if they had any questions or speculations. With season 3, it's all about fixing time. They have all these different things they have to fix. So there's that. There's also Rip Hunter, where they say he's got a deep, dark secret that he hasn't told anybody, and it's mentioned that there is a greater evil out there that they have to face. What that greater evil is, I don't know. They don't really get into it much. It's a very quick trailer. It's, I think, maybe less than 2 minutes.
Yeah.
But I had to bring up, at the end of it, this was hilarious, because the trailer ends, and then they kind of show, okay, it's WB, DC, da-da-da-da, and then it's like a end of the credit scene, kind of like in all the Marvel movies and DC movies. You have Ray say, ooh, I remember that. He says, on the Titanic, they had great food. Professor Stein says, I will never step foot on the Titanic. Whoever invented that should be shot. Do you know why this is so funny?
Why?
Because the guy who plays Professor Stein played Mr. Andrews in the movie Titanic, who ends up dying on the Titanic.
Was he in that movie?
Yes, he played the character Mr. Andrews, and he dies at the end. So this is why that was such a funny little, like, not cameo, but Easter egg in it. Ray's talking about how great it's going to be to go on the Titanic. He doesn't want to step foot back on the Titanic because he died last time he was on it. That was just a nice little Easter egg.
I had no idea. That's kind of cool.
I loved it at the end. I've watched it probably 3 or 4 times because it just is hilarious, I thought. So, Legends of Tomorrow, I'm very excited.
Do you think that Legends of Tomorrow is going to help push the next giant crossover show with them messing up time?
That's a good question. I haven't thought of that.
It's in the works. We know it's in the works.
I know. I don't think so. I think the whole crossover thing is just going to be Arrow Flash, and you have the characters maybe coming here and there. Like Supergirl shows up on a Flash episode and Legends
Right.
on Arrow. So I don't think all of them are going to come together at once again. Not for now, but that is a good thought. I didn't think of that. So, last one, I know you're not big onto it, but I still enjoy it. Supergirl Season 3. At the end of it, she has to send Mon-El off into space because they put lead in the air, and his people will die from lead if they inhale it. And he gets sucked into a wormhole. So, in the trailer, she's heartbroken, obviously. I mean, their relationship was the entire season.
So episode 1, season 2, Mon-El comes flying down in a ship. Season finale, season 2, he gets taken off in a spaceship.
Yes.
Fantastic.
So she's heartbroken, but she knows she had to do that. One of the things she says in the trailer is, she says, "I'm not human. Kara Danvers was a mistake." To me, after she said this means she's getting rid of the secret identity of Kara Danvers and just going full-time Supergirl.
Think so?
I really think so. Because I think she's getting upset that the people she loves, that she's trying to protect as Kara Danvers, are getting hurt. So she's kind of almost doing what Oliver did in one of his past seasons, where he gets rid of everybody.
Yeah.
And only wants to fight by himself because people he loves are getting hurt.
Right.
At the end of it, you have, I forget her name, but she's the daughter of Lionel Luthor.
Okay.
Lena, I think her
Yep.
name is. Lena Luthor. There's somebody who comes into her office and says, "You have betrayed me," blah, 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 and he's going on and on and on. And they show him, and my thought is, this is Lex Luthor. I think we're getting Lex Luthor.
Is he bald?
Semi, it was like army kind of
Shaved.
shaved. The guy who plays him, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., he's the general that is constantly getting into Coulson's business.
Okay.
Because he dies in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., so he has a new show to come on. But I think he's going to play Lex. Lex doesn't have to be bald. He could have grown his hair back in prison.
If Supergirl wants any chance of bringing me back to this show, Lex will be bald.
Okay, fine. It could be Lionel.
Could be Lionel. I mean,
So-
how old was he?
Older than Lena.
Okay. Like, it could be Lena's father?
I don't know.
No? Come on, we'll get this stuff.
No, I got excited when I thought it'd be Lex.
All right.
You're introducing Superman, maybe in more episodes this season. Why not introduce the biggest bad in the Superman Supergirl saga, which is Lex? Maybe he brings back Red Tornado. Where is he after season 1?
That is a good question.
So, yeah, I still enjoy Supergirl. They're also going to be, we'll find out, because at the end of season 2, they show, I told you about the scene when Krypton was exploding, when they sent off Clark and Kara's pods. This other mystic group sent off another pod, which I think is more going into the Brainiac saga. Mm-hmm. So, I know you're a big fan of the Brainiac.
Do you think they're going to bring Brainiac to the show?
I think so. Eventually. If that's not, maybe it's another Kryptonian, who knows? But my thought was towards Brainiac. But that is the Flareverse. Like I said, coming back the second week, I believe, in October. So
Fantastic.
we still have over a month, but
That's right. That could be a month to finish what I'm watching now, so I can focus on the CW.
exactly. So,
I have a lot of TV watching to do in the future.
but you know what's great about knowing that the Flareverse is in October? Kids go back to school.
Kids go back to school in 3 days.
So there you go. Moving on. Unless you have anything else you want to add to Flareverse, because we have a lot to go over.
Nope.
Okay. Moving on to
Box Office Heroes.
Office. I want to do this quickly here. I have The Nut Job 2 at number 3, Birth of the Dragon at number 2, and The Hitman's Bodyguard at number 1.
Number 3 is Leap,
Okay.
$5 million. Number 2 is Annabelle 2,
Wow.
$7 million.
I am surprised that a horror movie made the top 3.
And The Hitman's Bodyguard at number 1 at $10 million.
There we go. Deserves it. Sam Jackson and Ryan Reynolds teaming up.
Yeah, I've seen the trailer. I want to see
I
this.
so badly want to see this.
I want to see this.
Unless you want to go more into the numbers, we don't have to because I know we have a lot to talk about. But real quickly, one movie I want to talk about. We'll talk about on the next episode when we talk about fall movies. But I cannot wait to see next month Kingsman 2. I'm
Yes.
so excited. That's all they've been playing on TV the last couple of weeks is the first Kingsman movie, and I've watched it like 5 times already.
It's such a good movie.
It is.
It's a really good movie.
Yeah, I don't have anything bad to say. I mean, Leap, I don't really know much about it. I think it's a faith
It's
movie.
an animated movie about a ballerina.
Okay, yeah. I remember seeing the trailer for that. Annabelle 2 is actually the prequel to Annabelle. Because it's called Annabelle Creation.
Of course it's
and
a prequel.
like I said, Hitman's Bodyguard looks amazing.
Why wouldn't it be a prequel?
So, main event time, unless you have anything else to add.
No. I'm just trying to do a little research on this Lex/Lionel/Grandpa Luther.
There we go, okay. Well, we got to watch SummerSlam a couple weeks ago.
Pretty decent show.
I give it a B-. There were times where I was falling asleep. But they've now made SummerSlam as long as WrestleMania because they want to make it like a second WrestleMania.
Right.
What are your thoughts on making it go to 4 hours instead of 3? Plus, don't forget the pre-show is
Which is 2 hours.
Yeah.
So we're looking at a 6-hour show.
yeah.
I don't know. I think
I
it's
think we
only
should-
that long because all the promo videos they play.
I think we shouldn't have started so late. We got done at 1 in the morning.
Yeah, we did. Yeah.
So we have the kickoff show, the pre-show part. 3 matches in there. One of your favorite factions that has just come to form, the Miztourage. I know how much you love the Miztourage. Versus the Hardys and Jason Jordan. We didn't get to watch much of it because it was a quick match. Miztourage won on Miz secretly tagging himself in.
Yep.
Typical Miz. That's all I have to say. I mean,
Wrestle to win.
exactly.
That's all you gotta do.
All this match is doing is it kind of was setting up the Miz Jason Jordan rivalry a little bit, but then on Raw, Jason Jordan didn't even go after the Miz. He went after Finn Balor the next day. So I don't know what they're doing. We had the Cruiserweight champion Akira Tozawa versus the former champion Neville. The Monday before Sunday, Tozawa won the championship. He was supposed to have his title match on SummerSlam. So this is the rematch, and Neville wins. What I hate the whole fact when they give somebody a title and then they switch it back less than a week later. What's the point?
We don't mind that when a heel wins the title and then another face takes it next day.
Yeah, but it's stupid. This is what happened with Charlotte and Sasha when they had their huge rivalry for like half the year, and literally every month they switched the title back and forth. That
That got a little annoying.
That's why Charlotte's a 5-time champion and Sasha's now a 4-time champion in less than a year.
Right.
It's stupid.
Yeah, it is annoying.
But the big match out of the pre-show was the Usos versus the New Day. This was like a 20-minute match going back and forth, counter for
It was a
counter.
long match.
They were kicking out of each other's finishers. This match should not have been on the pre-show. It should have been on the main show.
Yeah.
It was that good. You even mentioned, because you love tag team matches. I don't know what to say. I mean,
For me, the Usos never really sunk in with me as a good tag team, you know? Yay, they're twins, you know? But I've seen that thing before. This match, they did it.
I think you're more of a fan of the Usos as heels than faces. That's
I think so. I mean, this match really showed both teams' athletic skills. They did a real good job in this
Yeah,
match.
because as heels, the Usos now introduce different moves. They have some, some submissions. But yeah, I mean, between the counters and everything, and I also mentioned how well Xavier Woods has developed as a wrestler in WWE.
Yeah.
He's bulked up a little bit.
Yep.
And he does amazing things in the ring. And we've said this from day one. If they just give him a shot, he'd be great because we used to watch him in TNA.
Yeah.
So
He was always a fantastic wrestler. Could they have brought him on to do a solo act? They could have. But I think there's a better choice for him.
yeah, the New Day we've mentioned, they've been going at this for like 3 years now.
Yeah.
You feel like if they keep it going for another 3-4 more years, maybe Hall of Fame worthy someday.
I even bought that they should add a 4th member one of these days. You know?
Yeah, you love the factions.
Yeah.
So the Usos won the tag team titles back from New Day. Again, New Day only had it for a couple weeks. What's the point? Starting off the show, we had Natalya versus the champion Naomi. One of the things in this is Natalya finally gets an opportunity at the Women's Championship. A one-on-one opportunity, I should say. Well-deserved. Natalya is probably one of the most talented women wrestlers on the roster. And I thought this was a decent match. There was none of this hair pulling and slapping and let me slam your head on the ground.
For women matches, this was a really good match.
Because you had two top women wrestlers in the division.
Not afraid to get hurt.
Exactly. Naomi is very athletic, does things off the top rope, does split-legged moonsaults. Natalya is just that tough wrestler. Great match. Natalya finally wins a women's championship for the second time. Only 2 times she's been a women's champion in this company. On SmackDown, when she came out, they have like little things saying bios about the about the wrestlers, and it said this is the first time she's held the title in 7 years.
Right.
That is ridiculous.
Long time.
One of the best women wrestlers in the last decade on the show, and it's taken her
That's
this
because
long.
they tried pushing all these NXT people up faster because they thought they would get the people to watch more. You know, it's like I don't want to see this chick that she's pretty and stuff, but she can't wrestle.
Exactly.
I don't want to see that.
Exactly. Natalya, I love too with the sharpshooter. She puts it in so well, and she sits right down on you. So, bravo to those 2 women because
I'd much rather see a Beth Phoenix and Natalya match than a Eve Marie and that Carmella person wrestle.
It definitely wasn't
any day.
Definitely was no bathroom break.
No,
So
definitely not.
Natalya, congrats on winning the women's championship. Even though I love Naomi as a women's champion, also. This was the bathroom break match. Big Cass versus the Big Show with Enzo Amore suspended above the ring in a shark cage. They have had nothing but Big Show, Big Cass, or Big Cass versus Enzo matches for the last month, and they are horrible.
They are.
Such a waste of time. And this was too. The whole setup is Big Cass hurt Big Show's hand, so he can't choke slam you or KO punch you with it. And he tries to throughout the match, but he can't. Enzo is suspended up above the cage, so he doesn't get involved in the match. The only entertaining thing out of this was Enzo trying to squeeze out of the cage.
Yeah.
It was funny. He then strips down to his boxers, pulls out a bottle of lubricant, puts it all over himself so he can slide right through, and he pops right out of the cage.
Just to get punched in the face.
Yeah, he dangles from the cage. I'm thinking, okay, this is setting up for a distraction, and then Big Show's gonna knock Big Cass out somehow. No, all it did was he hangs there, Big Cass is staring right at him, he falls, gets a big boot, and then Big Cass big boots Big Show twice. I think I've said big so many times. There's Big Show, Big Cass, big boot. It was so stupid.
This kind of match is ridiculous. This match was only designed, set up to put Big Cass over. You have Big Show, who's been running dominant OWE for the last 20 years. Now it's time to pass the torch, and Big Cass is right here, just trying to push him higher.
Yeah.
And Big Cass just does not have the acting skills to make it happen. Mm-hmm. He has talent in the ring as a wrestler, but to pull this kind of gimmick off, he doesn't have what it takes.
This is why Enzo and Big Cass were such a great tag team.
Yeah.
Because you had Enzo who could help you with your weaknesses, and Big Cass could help Enzo with his weaknesses.
But I'm not sure if you remember Big Show in WCW years.
Yeah, it was horrible.
First coming in, he was phenomenal. He was the giant. He made it look like I'm dominant over everybody. And this was going against Hulk Hogan at the time.
But he didn't have the promo skills.
He had no promo skills. But he didn't need the promo skills because he had his size. He had his way he carried himself around the ring. That's what it took. That's what made him big. Big Cass has none of that. He looks like he's like nervous in that ring, trying to be the big bad villain.
Well, on the bright side of things, I believe this rivalry is finally over because the next night on Monday Night Raw, Big Cass and Enzo had a street fight. Enzo wins because Cass can't finish competing in the match. Cass went for a big boot on Enzo, hanging on the apron. Enzo pulls down the ropes. Cass, when he falls out, popped his knee.
Ooh.
And apparently just went through knee surgery.
Ah.
So Enzo got the win. And the following night on 205 Live on Tuesday, Enzo came out, and I don't know if he challenged Neville for the Cruiserweight title, but there was a little face-to-face action. So this is what you wanted to see when they split, was Enzo
should
going
be.
for Cruiserweight title.
That's where Enzo should be, right there.
So maybe we'll see that down the road. But if this knee surgery thing is part of a gimmick, or if it's real, I'm hopefully Big Cass comes back from it.
More than likely, it's a gimmick.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I'm pretty sure Vince saw SummerSlam and be like, he needs to change his gimmick exposure. He's not looking good, So they probably like, all right, we're going to injure you. Go bulk up a little bit.
So that's what I'm saying.
Come back with a new character.
If it is real, hopefully he heals up pretty quickly.
I know if I was in the locker room, I was running the show, it's exactly what I would do.
Okay.
Endo needs to be in that cruiserweight. He's amazing.
Moving on to this match, you loved one part of it because it was very quick. It was Randy Orton versus Rusev. Randy Orton comes out to the ring. Rusev blindsides him during his music.
Yep.
Typical Rusev. And just starts beating down on Randy Orton. Ref asks Randy, "Are you okay to wrestle? You okay?" Yeah, he's standing up. Rings the bell. Ding, ding, ding. And RKO out of nowhere.
Like a cartoon.
I mean, I literally blinked and I missed it, and I had to watch the replay.
Yep.
And that is the typical thing with Randy Orton. He always says, I can hit the RKO out of nowhere.
Yeah.
And that's the new thing. JBL, every time he hits it, he goes, out of nowhere!
Yeah.
Kind of like Michael Cole with Vintage.
Right.
And it was great. It was one of those things where I'm getting sick and tired of Rusev always saying, I'm the greatest, no one can beat me, and Randy beats him in 2 seconds.
Yeah.
So I love it when Randy Orton hits the RKO out of nowhere.
Yep.
Future Hall of Famer, that's all I can say.
I just think that Rusev forgot that the RKO was coming because his head went down, but his body stayed up.
Yes. I don't know if you want to talk a little bit about that real quick, how it happened, but I mean, literally when you hit it, you're supposed to go down like a plank of wood.
Yeah, you must take a front bump. That's all you have to do.
Yeah, and we think he might have broken his nose again because he was holding on to his face at the end of the match.
He forgot it was coming, and Randy's like, I don't give a crap.
Yep. No,
your head's coming down.
That is the thing. Randy Orton is such a veteran where if you don't remember something or you mess something up and make him look bad, he will mess you up.
He will take liberties. He will. He absolutely will.
And I love that. Moving on, because we're only halfway there. Sasha Banks versus Alexa Bliss, the Raw Championship. Wasn't as good as the
I was
SmackDown.
excited for this match, and then it took place. I was like, I'm not excited anymore.
It took too long.
Yeah.
They're great women wrestlers. Let's just say that. They both are good.
They have talent.
It just...
The chemistry
comparing it to the SmackDown one, it wasn't as good.
No. Yeah. Their chemistry just wasn't there that night.
Yeah. But again, another title change. Are we seeing something here with all the title changes? Sasha Banks beats Alexa and becomes a 4-time women's champion. Mm-hmm. So literally, we have had 1, 2, 3, 4 title changes already in the night.
Yeah.
So, I mean, this is saying something. Are we going to have all of them change? Moving on, we had Finn Balor versus Bray Wyatt. Monday night, Bray Wyatt beat Finn Balor in their singles match that was supposed to happen at SummerSlam. Mm-hmm. Bray Wyatt then dumps a bucket of blood on Finn Balor. In the back, Finn says, you want the demon? You'll get him. I was so excited and so giddy that night that we finally got to see the demon Finn Balor return.
Yeah.
The thing with pay-per-views that you mentioned, you're supposed to show neat entrances during pay-per-views. Yeah. And that was the thing with Finn Balor. He always came out dressed up like the demon Finn Balor during pay-per-views. And then when he came back from his injury, he just had the Balor Club kind of thing. Whoop-de-doo. When he brought back the demon, that was one of the best entrances I love in WWE right now.
Some people are paying $60 to watch a pay-per-view. I don't want to pay $60 to watch a Monday Night Raw, you know?
Yep.
So it should be special every time, no matter what.
Yeah. Finn dominated Bray Wyatt in this match.
Bray did a great job selling that Finn Balor is in his head the entire match.
Yeah.
Bray did such a great job in this match.
What was great about this was it reminded me of Undertaker sitting up in the middle of the ring. You have Bray just hit a move, and then he goes into the corner and does the whole let me lean back kind of thing, crab walk. And as he's doing it, Finn just sits up and jumps up.
Yeah, he just jumps right up.
Like out of nowhere, bam. And that just made Bray like, crap.
Yep.
Great match.
See, a lot of wrestling fans watch wrestling, and they're like, yeah, the winner, he's the winner, he's the winner. Me, I look at the whole show. Mm-hmm. In this match, Bray was phenomenal. He's the winner of this match for me, because he sold it perfectly. He put Finn over the way they should be done. I see Finn going back to the top real fast because of this match.
I hope so.
It's all because of Bray Wyatt and what he did for Finn in this match.
Because Finn was supposed to be on the top when he became the first Universal Champion, and then that shoulder injury, and he was out for a year. They haven't done anything with him.
No, you're gonna see a huge. If it was me, huge Finn here. Next week, Finn up here again.
Hopefully,
because of this one match.
Well, because like I said, Monday night, all he had was a match against Jason Jordan.
Yeah.
Jason Jordan's good, but it's not a high-level match. Finn Balor beat Bray Wyatt with the coup de grace. Love it. You have then the Raw Tag Team Champions Sheamus and Cesaro versus the Reformed Shield, Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins. You have Dean and Seth win. It was a decent match. You're still getting the chemistry of them trying to become a tag team.
It was an adorable moment.
So, what was great was Monday night, the Hardys came out and challenged them to a match, not for the titles,
right?
But those two against the Hardys was a phenomenal match.
I bet.
What I got out of this was, what was it? I was just about to say, Dean Ambrose. What happened out of this was he became a grand champion.
Yes.
He has now won a world title, a U.S. title, a IC title, and now the tag team champions. So Dean is in that select group of wrestlers that have won the major titles in WWE. What does that say for Dean? For me, that says in the last 2 years, Dean Ambrose has become one of the best superstars on the roster. Because when he first came out with the Shield, I hated him.
I was not
His
a fan.
matches were crap.
Yep.
The second they all split up, he went from here to here, the top of the peak.
Exactly.
Dean Ambrose is one of the top 5 guys on Monday Night Raw. Mm-hmm. So
it's his new gimmick. It's and that's what makes it a wrestler most of the time. You find the right gimmick for that one wrestler, and they just take it and they walk with that the entire time.
I mean, there's a reason he's called the Lunatic Fringe.
Yeah.
He acts like a lunatic all the time.
Yep.
He kind of reminds me how we say Randy Orton is not a face nor a heel. Randy is neutral.
Yeah.
That reminds me of Dean Ambrose right now.
I mean, like, Randy Orton, neutral. Triple H, neutral. Undertaker, neutral. Stone Cold TLS, neutral. Those guys are the top of the wrestling company back in the day. Some of them are still now, you know? So they need to take the gimmick, what Dean is doing, keep it going. He is going to be the best.
Do you see them holding on to the titles for a while, or Cesaro and Sheamus can be get their titles back?
I don't know. I
See, I'm thinking they are.
weird because alone, Dean and Seth are phenomenal.
Yeah.
So putting them together, I don't know why they put them together yet.
I think it's because they're trying to rebuild the Shield. I'm wondering if Roman Reigns is going to start to come into the fray too. Because remember, all 3 of them are on Raw now.
Right.
Are we saying we're going to rebuild the Shield?
This could be so they could boost Roman up again, you know? Because they want Roman Reigns to be the number 1 guy. And I feel like they still want him to be number 1 guy. So maybe those two teaming up will somehow help Roman Reigns
Because I
get
could
back up there
I
again.
could see the Shield forming again, trying to take all the gold like they did before. Because Roman Reigns is only 1 title away from becoming a grand champion.
Yeah.
It's the IC title. That's on Raw right now against The Miz.
Yeah.
So, moving on. One of the best matches of the night for me was AJ Styles versus Kevin Owens with Shane McMahon as the special guest referee. I love what Shane said in this. I will not disqualify anybody for touching me, because usually if you hit the ref, you're DQ'd. He goes, if you hit me, I'm going to hit you back. I love that. And we saw that throughout the match. You had Kevin Owens constantly pulling Shane in the way of AJ Styles and everything. And it got to the point where Shane's in Kevin Owens' face, and what happened was AJ puts his foot on the rope, and Kevin thought he won, and that's where it started to overheat between Kevin Owens and Shane, because Kevin Owens thought he won. Shane's like, no, I called it off. They start butting heads. AJ goes to town on Kevin Owens right there. I hope this is it. It actually was, because AJ Styles won the match. Kevin Owens got a rematch Tuesday night. I'm thinking, okay, here we go. Can we end this rivalry with the U.S. title? Shane says to Kevin, he goes, you can choose anyone to be your referee. So he chooses Baron Corbin because it's a heel. He's going to help him out. And Baron ends up leaving the match because Shane comes out and says, I'm throwing you out as ref. Shane takes the referee shirt, counts 1, 2, 3 for AJ, and now Kevin cannot have a U.S. title match as long as AJ is champion.
Nice.
So, what big thing to come out of this, being the fact that rivalry's done, is we're going to see Kevin Owens versus Shane coming up soon. Whether that's at WrestleMania in 6 months, or Survivor Series, the Rumble, but it's going to happen at one of the big pay-per-views.
You think so?
Yeah. There's been talk about this happening, which I have no problem with it. I love Shane McMahon matches.
Yeah.
I mean, he's had, 2 matches so far since coming back 2 years ago. One against Undertaker, which was phenomenal. And speaking of phenomenal, against AJ Styles, which was amazing.
Yep.
Yeah, he loses, but they're still great matches.
They are great matches.
So, I don't know if you want to add anything to this match, but...
The only thing that caught my eye was when Shane got knocked out.
Yeah.
And Kevin wants to get the pin, right? And he's like, you fell off the top of a cage, and this knocks you out?
Yes.
I'm like, really? You probably shouldn't have said that so loud, dude.
It was.
Because you're absolutely right.
That's true. So, moving on, we have 2 titles left. Those were both world titles. First one was the WWE Championship. Jinder Mahal, the champion, against Shinsuke Nakamura. You even said where they're pushing Shinsuke very hard. He hasn't lost yet. So is he going to lose the match? You predicted no, because we already seen a bunch of title changes happening, so you didn't think it was going to happen here. The problem was, you're right, Jinder Mahal wins the match, gives Shinsuke Nakamura his first loss. It's the way it happened. Those stupid Singh brothers, in every championship match since Jinder has become champion, they get involved. Or Great Khali got involved. And I hate it, because it ruins a good match.
Oh, yeah.
And it shows how much I hate Jinder, because in those matches, Jinder does nothing the entire match. He does on SmackDown, he shows talent when he wrestles on SmackDown, but every pay-per-view, he does literally no moves.
It's nothing.
And then the Singh brothers get involved, he uses the Colossus, and it's done. This is why I hate managers or people on the outside of the ring, because they ruin good matches.
Sometimes they do.
Dolph Ziggler, for instance, I use this when he had Vicky Guerrero. Dolph Ziggler does not need anyone helping him in any type of match.
Oh, he doesn't.
And it just made, to me, Dolph look weak. Same with Edge. Edge does not need any help. He had Vicky. It made him look weak.
Yeah.
And this is making Jinder look even worse than what he is.
Well, here's the worst part that they're trying to do, okay? Between Vicky and the Singh brothers, they're just trying to keep the heel on the wrestler. That's all they're trying to do, but they're doing a really bad job at it. Real bad job at it. Vicky did a good job at it because she did a promo, a lot of the promos.
Yeah.
Tough. So she would put the heat on Edge, put the heat on Dolph, and that was fine. Don't get involved in the matches, because that just makes them look like they can't really do it.
Well, see, this is what I think is they do it because if they didn't do it, what would we be talking about right now?
Yeah.
They do it to tick us off.
Yeah.
Because what's going to happen when you're ticked off? You're going to talk about it. Should have seen, I watched a little YouTube clip when Roman Reigns came in number 30 in the Rumble and went through. Everyone's so excited. Who's it going to be? Who's it going to be? And then it's Roman Reigns, and so many people were ticked off about it.
So angry.
But what happens? We're talking about it. That's the thing.
I'm looking at it more as a professional courtesy to these wrestlers. That I never really seen Jinder wrestle much, you know? Mm-hmm. So maybe he really can't do anything, and these guys are just trying to get the heat on him more and more.
Yeah.
You know? It's just not needed.
at least, I mean, Shinsuke got a little redemption Tuesday night. He had a 2-on-1 handicap match against the Singh brothers, and he just kicked the crap out of them.
Fantastic.
He had his little shining wizard that he does at the end and everything, and it was great. So, main event time, it was the Fatal 4-Way for the Universal title. Brock Lesnar versus Roman Reigns versus Samoa Joe versus Braun Strowman. This was a destructive match. Braun was the bulldozer in this match.
Oh, yeah.
He put Brock Lesnar, he power slammed him through 2 announce tables and then flipped the third one on top of him. I am laughing so hard because I hate Brock Lesnar so much. Brock gets gurneyed out of the arena, so now it's a triple threat. But then Brock comes back and starts dominating the match. Yeah, of course you could start dominating the match. You had like 10 minutes in the back to recuperate and have a break.
The others are all break, some water.
Yeah. Some other highlights out of this was Roman Reigns spearing, I forgot who it was, through the barricade. I think it was Brock Lesnar. Samoa Joe's got Brock Lesnar in the Uranagi, or not the Uranagi, the submission. I forgot what submission is. And Joe lets go and right through the barricade. Mm-hmm. You also had, I think, Braun throwing a chair at someone again, an announcer's chair.
Yep.
He did it on Monday Night Raw too. You also had the steel steps were used, and Roman hits Braun so quick with the steps, he doesn't get to hit him with the flat part. He gets him with the point, and he sliced his ear open. So we had some there. But then when Brock comes back, like I said, he starts dominating everybody.
Yeah.
It ends with, it was Brock Lesnar, I think, is going... Or Braun Strowman had somebody up in a power slam. I think it was Brock Lesnar, and Roman Reigns spears him.
Yes.
So Braun falls on his face, and Brock then F5s Roman Reigns and gets the 1-2-3. Kind of saw it happening because you have the whole thing where Brock said if he loses because he thought it was unfair, he had to go against all 3 of these guys. He's leaving the show. How often does that happen?
Right.
The problem is, now this idiot is still the world champion. How often do we get to see the belt?
Yeah.
Well, we're going to get to see it more often, apparently. Monday Night Raw, Brock comes out laughing that he's still champion and Paul praising him. Braun Strowman comes out. Face to face. Brock then tries to go after Braun, and Braun just destroys Brock Lesnar to start Monday Night Raw again. Power slam after power slam after power slam. And the fans are cheering Braun Strowman and booing Brock Lesnar.
Good.
I hate Braun Strowman, but I hate Brock Lesnar a lot more.
Right.
Kurt Angle makes the match. September 24th, I believe, is No Mercy in 5 weeks. And it's Braun Strowman versus Brock Lesnar for the Universal title.
Nice.
So we might get Braun Strowman as the champion, which I hate the fact that he is because I don't think he's that talented. But it's better than seeing Brock and never seeing the title.
Yeah.
Anything you want to mention out of the whole show or out of that match that you saw that you want to talk about real quick?
No, we're good.
Oh, yeah. I mean, so there were a lot of matches where they kind of made me fall asleep. That's why I gave it a B-.
Yeah.
I think, what'd you say? B plus?
Yeah.
Somewhere around there. But, yeah, I mean, SummerSlam, I can't say much more about it. I want to mention real quick, too, NXT SummerSlam was the night before.
Yep.
Asuka beat Ember Moon. She still is undefeated. She has been champion for over 500 days. But apparently she's going to have to relinquish the title because I heard she got injured. So there's that. Bobby Roode also lost his NXT title, so he is not champion anymore. This leads me into the little bit of wrestling talk, because we didn't do wrestling talk.
Right.
Monday Night Raw, we had some returns. Let me get my notes here, because I know we're running out of time. We had John Cena is now on Raw. He moved from SmackDown to Raw.
Of course.
Cena did a promo where he said there's one reason he came to Raw. That's to face a superstar. That was Roman Reigns. We're going to get to see those 2 faces that everyone boos finally go at it. Moving into SmackDown, we had a glorious debut. Bobby Roode is now on SmackDown. So he lost the title, so that's why he goes to SmackDown.
That's why John Cena moved.
Yeah. We also had some gold come to SmackDown. And I mean the gold standard.
Is that what show he's on
Shelton
now? I knew he was
Benjamin.
back, but I didn't know what show he was
He
on.
returned to SmackDown
That's awesome.
last week. He has his first match coming up this week. He's tagging with Jason Jordan. Not Jason, Chad Gable, I mean. From
Tag match?
American Alpha. So, I don't care. We have the glorious one, and we have the gold standard on SmackDown. This is why SmackDown is so much better than Raw. Real quick, I told you about in TNA, they had Destination X, and a bunch of people return. Billy Pritchard is out at running TNA, and it's now Jim Cornette. You love Jim Cornette, you used to say.
Yeah.
And Taryn Terrell returned, messed up Gail Kim's chance at the Women's Championship. And one of your favorite Cruiser X Division stars, the little Papa Pump, Petey Williams, the Canadian Destroyer, returned. So hopefully we get to see more of him too. So TNA also, like I said, there is no form of TNA left. Anthem Sports, ever since they took over TNA, which is now called Impact, they merged with Global Force, so it's now, they call it Global Force instead of TNA. So, and that's Jeff Jarrett's new baby. Jeff Jarrett is now behind the scenes doing a lot more. That's why the show is so much better.
So now we're back to where we first started.
Exactly. So, I don't have anything to end the show. I don't have anything for Lucha Underground because we got rid of a certain satellite provider I won't mention, but we got now regular cable instead of satellite. So, instead of watching Lucha, I get to watch something better, and that's Legend of the Nerds every week.
There you go.
So, don't forget, stay nerdy and enjoy the show. Bye.